Hello, everyone. I hope that you're doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Boom Shakha, and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm really grateful that you're listening, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate the support. And in this one, I want to speak to you about something that I read recently in a book. And I don't remember now which book. I wrote it down right away so I wouldn't forget, but then I didn't write down the name of the book. So I don't actually remember, but this is what it said. Basically, it said something like, give what you didn't get. Give love and forget about all the stories, the old stories. And it was really interesting because I think this is an idea that I've kept in my heart for a long time, that if I didn't get something, that I wouldn't give it out. The kind of like tit for tat idea, that if you're not gonna be nice to me, if you're not gonna do this for me, then I'm not gonna do that for you. And this is, I think, the idea that a lot of INFJs say to me all the time. They're like, I worked so hard on this relationship, I gave and gave and gave to this person, and they never gave back to me, and eventually I got tired of it and I left. And I understand that completely, because I do that as well. But I thought this reversal of idea a little bit actually quite interesting. And I think they were talking about it in context of your childhood. So a lot of children, when they become adults, they say that because I did not get this as a child, I'm not going to give this either. For example, we might not have gotten unconditional love when we were children, and so we have a hard time giving unconditional love as adults, right? Some of it is related to trauma, some of it's actually a deliberate choice. We make a choice saying we're not going to do this. I didn't get it, why should I give it to someone else, right? It's kind of a vindictive way of looking at things. But we think that it's fair, it has to be fair. If I didn't get it, why should I give it to someone else? But the idea that this person was propagating was, because you did not get it, you know what it's like not to receive this particular item, right? So because if you did not receive unconditional love, for example, when you were a child, you know what it feels like, right? You know how terrible it can be, how you can feel because of that, the loss that you feel, and anxiety and all that. So you know what it's like. So why would you want to do that to someone else, right? And also, because you know what it's like not to receive something, you should give more of it so no one else suffers from that trauma or whatever it might be. And I've been very good at doing it in other aspects of my life. So I'm very good at giving what I don't have in other aspects of my life. So or what I didn't get. So I'll be very good at giving time to people, even though I didn't get a lot of it from the people that I cared about. Or I'll be very good at giving my things away, even though, I don't. When I was younger, I didn't receive that many gifts because we were poor. It's no fault of anyone. But I'm very good at giving other things, but I'm not good at giving love unconditionally, because I blame it that I did not receive it, so I don't know how to give it. But I'm kind of looking at this, idea that's been planted into my head by this quote, give what you did not get, give love, or whatever it might be, and forget about all the old stories you have in your head. And I think a lot of it, for me particularly, the reason why I didn't give or why I didn't do things the way I wanted to, is because of the old stories that I had in my head. And I still do. I have these stories in my head, and they've kind of formed a foundation in my head, a very solid foundation. And I'm having a very hard time thinking outside the box besides these stories that I've created for myself. And so what happens when I get into a new relationship, because I'm mostly talking about being in relationships, be it friendship or partnership or romantic relationship, whatever it is. Whenever I get into a new relationship, I always have this same story that I play out. I will only give what I get. I will only give as much as I get. I will only give in the same amount of units as I receive, right? And so if they give me 1 unit, then I'll be like, all right, I'll give 1 unit back. If they give me 10, then I'll give 10 back. If they don't give me any units, then I'm not giving anything back, right? And so not only it's a very transactional way of doing things, it's also very tiring, because you have to constantly be keeping track of what they gave and what you gave, and did you give enough, and what does this amount to, and Is this equivalent to what they gave? Like, it's so confusing and so tiring to think about relationships in that manner. Also, it degrades and corrodes the relationship, because I noticed that for myself. I'm so ingrained into figuring out how much I gave and how much they gave and calculating all these things that I don't actually end up having a good relationship with the person. And I'm not having an open, honest, simple relationship with a person, because I'm just constantly calculating. And so as I said, I heard the quote, and for some reason it really kind of like, ding, it kind of hit the right bell in my head, or whatever you want to call it, in my heart. And I thought to myself, yes. And I wrote it down, as I said, in my notes right away. And I said, okay, give what you didn't get. And now, whenever I kind of look at anything that's going on in my life, I'm always looking at it. Okay, give what I didn't get. Give what I didn't get. What did I get? What didn't I get? What can I give? What can I give? It's not even just about give what you didn't get, but also just give in general, I think, is the whole idea, right? Like, give of yourself as much as possible, because that's when you feel the most alive. That's when you feel the most useful. And also, it kind of alleviates a lot of the worries, anxieties, fears, doubts, frustrations, resentments, bitterness, all that, negative emotion. A lot of it will be dissipated if you start giving of yourself, right? So not to make this like a sermon or anything, but I do notice for myself that I've been kind of doing my own little thing here in Bali. I'm not a person of like magnificent means or anything. Like, I don't have a lot of money to give, so I don't have money to give, but I do have time that I've kind of created for myself. And so what I do is I go around the neighborhoods in my around me, and also in Denpasar and the little city nearby. As much as possible, I drive around on my motorbike, and whenever I see a puppy or a dog or a kitten or a cat or something that needs help, I'll stop, and I always carry cat food and dog food with me in little pouches, as much as possible. Sometimes I do forget, because I'm not the most organized person when it comes to that. Also, I'll use it up and I'll forget to replace it. But it's easy to buy here in random Indomarets or Alphamart. They're called, like, these little 7-Eleven style convenience stores. And so I'll just buy these little pouches, and then whenever I see some being, a cat, dog thing that needs help, or it looks like it's hungry, I'll just feed it, right? And also, if it looks like it needs medicine, then I'll contact a nearby charitable organization and ask them if they can help, and things like that. And so it's not like I'm doing a lot. In fact, if you look at the magnitude of suffering on this planet, and particularly of the animals in Indonesia or in Bali, just in Bali, it's a lot going on. Yeah, they're going through a lot. And so me kind of feeding one or two little beings here or there, or getting them adopted, or doing things here and there, it's not like I'm making a humongous difference, right? But I do notice that it makes me feel really, really good, and makes me feel like at least I'm doing something. It gets rid of that apathy or that attitude inside of myself that says, what is the point? Why bother? And that's what a lot of people say to me, like, why are you bothering with these? It doesn't matter. Like, if you say one dog or cat, there's still hundreds of others that are suffering. And I'm like, yes, I get it. But at least that one dog or cat isn't suffering anymore, right? Right? And so it's not enough for sure. It's never enough. It's never going to be enough. We're never going to save everyone. But at least I did that little bit. And then it makes me feel like at least I'm doing something. And that's how I'm giving back. It's not like I am going around changing the world, but I'm doing what I can in my own little way. And so it's not like I did not receive food or love when I was a child. But I do know that this is something, food and love. If I can give to a cat or a dog or a kitten or a puppy, I know that at least I'm giving something back to these beings that need it, right? A little bit something, right? And so it's not necessarily give what you don't have. It's great if you give what you didn't have, right? When you were a child or something, give what you didn't get. But also give in general, I think, is the idea here. Give love, give something. And unfortunately, what I feel like what a lot of us do is that we always kind of look at, oh, but I can't give, right? I can't give this, I can't give that. I don't have money, I don't have time. Yeah, you don't have, there's a lot of things probably you don't have to give. But I always feel like there's always something you can give. And I mean, it can be as simple as giving a compliment. That costs nothing. and will change someone's life. These videos as well that I'm doing on YouTube literally cost nothing. They cost me a little bit of time and a little bit of preparation because I need to think about what I'm going to talk about. But they cost nothing really in general if you think about it. And I put them on, and I'm so lucky that I can do this easily. And then I give a little bit of benefit to people through these videos. And sometimes some of the videos give a lot of benefit. So some are, they're obscure, like no one ever watches them. And some of them, a lot of people watch and they get a lot of benefit out of. So it's great, but it cost me nothing really to do these, right? And so it's just like, what can you do? What little thing can you do? Give what you didn't get. Give love, give something. It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be time. It can be a compliment. It can be a helping hand. It can be opening a door for someone. It can be helping someone carry something to their car. It can be just being kind to someone. I think that's also giving a lot. A lot of people are so unkind nowadays that if you can just be kind to someone, if you can just give someone a smile even, that's giving a lot, I think. It doesn't have to be a lot. It just has to be something. And so I really wanted to share this with you. I know it's probably a very like sermon-y like video. I hope I'm not preaching here. I just really wanted to share this, that this quote really spoke to me, and I really wanted to share my thoughts on it with you all. If you have any questions about this, let me know. If you have any stories to share about how you give in your own particular way, I'd love to hear from all of you. And again, thank you so much for listening, for watching. I shall see you the next time around. Bye.